Good morning, children. Let us begin today's day with a beautiful thought. If you just communicate, you can get by. But if you communicate skillfully, you can work miracles. With this beautiful thought, let us begin our today's lesson how the first letter was written. Once upon a most early time was a Neolithic man. Neolithic means of or rating to the new Stone Age. And he lived cavily in a cave. Cave is a naturally occurring cavity. A large naturally occurring cavity is caved, formed underground or in the face of a cliff or a hillside. And he wore very few clothes, and he couldn't read and he couldn't write. He couldn't read or write means he was illiterate, and he didn't want to. And except when he was hungry, he was quite happy. Why was he happy when he was hungry? Because he then used to go for fishing. This will come to know in the uh, coming lesson, in the coming paragraph. His name was Tegumai Bobsulai, and that means man who does not put his foot forward in a hurry. When he does not put his foot forward in a hurry means he was lazy. But we, O best beloved, will call him Tegumai for short. And his wife's name was Teshumai Tivendro, and that means lady who asks a very many questions. She had this habit of asking lot of questions, but we, O best beloved, will call her Teshumai for short. And his little girl daughter's name was Taphimai Methulamai, and that means small person without any manners who ought to be spanked. Spanked means slap with one's hand or flat object. She was really very naughty girl, but I'm going to call her Taffy, and she was Tegumai Bobsulai's best beloved and her own mummy's best beloved. Uh, Children, we know that parents love their children the most. This is this was even with Taffy. Taffy was loved by her parents, whose names are Teshumai and Tegumai, and she was not spanked half as much as was good for her. And they were all three very happy. Children, we come to know that this Neolithic man, Stone Age man, he lived with his wife and daughter, daughter Taffy and wife Teshumai. Three of them were really very happy, though they were illiterate, still they were happy. Let us see, give one word for the meanings of each of the names. Tegumai Bobsulai means patient. Teshumai Tivendro means inquisitive by nature. And Taffimai Methylamai is naughty, as their names were similarly was their nature. Who is the author telling the story to? The author is telling this story to young children. Now attend and listen to the story. One day, Tegumai Bobsulai went down through the beaver swamp to the Waghai river to spear carp fish for dinner. And Taffy went too. Tegumai's spear was made of wood with shark's teeth at the end, and before he had caught any fish at all, he accidentally broke it clean across by jabbing. Jabbing means to poke or thrust abruptly it down too hard on the bottom of the river. They were miles and miles from home, and Tegumai had forgotten to bring any extra spears. Here's a pretty kettle of fish, said Tegumai. Now, pretty kettle of fish means they were in a messy situation. They were in a messy situation. Now, what do you mean by spear? Spear is a sharp tool used by fishermen to retrieve fish. I repeat, a spear is a sharp tool used by fishermen to retrieve fish. Here is a pretty kettle of fish means pretty kettle of fish. It's an idiom. The meaning is Tegumai, he was in a messy situation. Why was he in a messy situation? Because his spear was broken. It will take me half the day to mend it. To mend it means to repair it. Mend this. There's your big black spear at home, said Taffy. Taffy, she reminded him about his big black spear which was kept at home. Let me run back to the cave and ask Mummy to give it me. Now, this small girl, she's so caring by nature. Here we see, though she is naughty also, that she says that she would go home and get the spear for her father. But it was not possible for the small girl with small fat legs to go and fetch it. In the next video, we'll see the remaining part of the explanation of the lesson. Thank you.